You're listening to Blue Please here on WoW Radio with myself, Tolbiscuit. Are we done yet? No, we are not. Right, I'd like to tell you about something a little bit more positive. I'm going to make a last-ditch effort to try and enjoy this game before I leave it for good, which is going to keep happening if they keep doing stupid things. I'm already playing casually 2 other MMOs, and I could see making either of them sort of a main MMO without too much of a problem, and I certainly wouldn't keep my WoW subscription up if that were to happen. However, people didn't like this WoW show, so I'm going to try and keep doing it and try and maybe bring some enthusiasm back into myself and actually make me play the game again. Now, the way I intend to do this is to do a 10-man guild, but before we do anything, those of you listening live may have noticed that the IRC server's just fallen over. Yes, it has. There's not really a lot I can do about that. I am currently hanging out in the Hash or Pound Machinima channel on QuakeNet. That's irc.quakenet.com, I believe, or net, I can't remember which. If you want to come and join me in there, by all means, please don't spam in there, because it's not my channel. There are various other listeners hanging around there at the moment. Please respect the environment, folks. It's the Machinima channel on QuakeNet. That's where we are for the time being. Yes, I'm already scaring the members of that. It's like, no, don't do that! Don't put them in there! Don't worry, there won't be that many of them. Most people don't know how to operate IRC. They've got our chat client, and then if they don't have that, well, they're sort of lost. It's kind of cute, really. Right, so yes, 10-man guild. Forums.wcradio.com. Click the Blue Please forum. You'll find the 10-man guild recruitment thread. That should give you a rough outline of what I'm intending to achieve. I would like to tell you a little bit about that. So, 10-man raiding is not something that initially interested me at the start of Wrath of the Lich King. However, I feel that the monotony of Wrath of the Lich King raiding in general has driven me to the point where 10-man raiding is something I'm actually interested in doing. Now, Naxxramas, we know, was boring. And the comment that I've made about Ulduar, which some people would disagree with, but I don't really care because I have a mic and they don't, is the fact that it's too long. And would have been better had they released 2 separate instances, and it would have just given people something more to do, you know? It would have involved a greater change of scenery every week and not a big raid schedule that's clanked full of Ulduar till you die. Ugh. I say, that drove me away from raiding. That's not really all of it, though. The length of Ulduar, which, of course, particularly when there are people running the raid that have absolutely no idea what they're doing in terms of managing a group of people, and don't understand that actually, yes, if you sit there for 6 hours, you're going to get pretty damn tired, and you're not going to focus, and if you don't give me breaks, well, you suck. Basically. They don't understand that that's going to affect people, and it's got to make people screw up. And screwing up in Ulduar, even after the nerfs on certain bosses, is still not really an option. Good. Happy about that. I'll say, I still think Ulduar's a great instance, despite those issues. Now, the screwing up factor is something that did contribute quite significantly to driving me away from raiding in the second instance. Now, the first instance, of course, was during the 6 months on X, I like to call it, which was abysmal. I quit after like a month and a half. I stopped playing. I didn't come back till Ulduar. Great job, Liz. I played your expansion for a month and a half and got bored. Oh dear. Didn't do so well there, did you? And the second quitting was when we got to Yogg-Saron. And the reason was that I could not stand the combination of the length of the instance and people screwing up. I'm generally a very focused individual, but if I'm in an environment where people are screwing up constantly, I will feel less motivated to perform well. Because Lord knows it doesn't look like everyone else is bothering. So why should I? It demotivates me. I don't like doing the same thing over and over again when we've already got it on farm. I don't mind when I'm doing progression, assuming the same people aren't making the same mistakes over and over again. Then I get annoyed. So, there is a certain attractive quality behind a smaller form guild, because you can be very selective with the kind of people that you bring with you. And hopefully, you bring along a group of nice, chilled and skilled players that don't make the same mistakes over and over again, that are not annoying on Vent, that don't bitch and whine and get involved in drama, and that are there for the same reason that you are, which is progress and achievement. And by achievement, I actually mean achievement. Achieving something, not achievements. There are certain achievements, of course, that will qualify as an actual achievement in terms of WoW difficulty level, and there are some, of course, that do not. I'm sure you can think of what those might be. I'm sure you've done some yourself, accidentally or otherwise. Accidentally doing achievements is always hilarious. Like, oh, I accidentally achieved something that I wasn't aiming for. What? What did I really achieve then? That's the kind of thing I'm interested in. So, I'm going to try and make it happen. Now, I'm creating this guild on Mazrigo Horde EU. And I don't want anyone to transfer yet. I know we've had a lot of people who are interested already, and I haven't talked about it on the show, so I expect quite a few more now. With the faction transfer system in place, you could transfer quite literally any character over there. But of course, it's going to cost you money. So I would ask you not to do so until we have arranged the roster and are absolutely certain about how we're going to go ahead. Now, what I will say to people is that it's a WoW Radio Guild project. You know what happens. I don't really want it to be a WoW Radio Guild project. I mean, there's a number of people that are definitely going to be involved in it who happen to hang around a WoW Radio event but don't really listen to WoW Radio or whatever. It's more of a project for me because I want to enjoy WoW again, and I want to share that experience with other people, like-minded people, and I want to be selective, which means that a lot of you who apply are not going to get in, and that's no slight on you. It's just there are certain people I think that I will get along with, and there are certain people that I don't. I don't want people applying to this guild because it's like, hey, you get to raid with WoW Radio guys, because that never ever works. We really do appreciate the enthusiasm and the passion of our fans, but come on. We just want to chill out at the end of the day. We don't want to be spammed. We just want to play like a normal player. Right. So, what is this going to be involving? Well, it's going to be involving hard modes. Lots and lots of hard modes. That's what we're aiming for. You know that progression path? Yes. Yes, you do. The progression path. The Blizzard are doing their damnedest to ruin. Well, I will uphold it. I want this guild to uphold that progression path. I want us to progress with 10-man gear. I want us to progress through the content at a steady pace. And I want us to achieve all we can in terms of hard modes. That means, eventually, I want to do Yogg plus 010. Which is currently, as far as I'm aware, the hardest 10-man hard mode. I want to do Sarth 3D 10. Pretty hard as well. I want to do all of the hard modes in Ulduar in 10. I want to do all the hard modes in TOC in 10, and I want to do all the hard modes in the upcoming Ice Crown instance in 10-man mode. Now, some will, of course, say, well, it's not as hard as 25-man. This is true. This is something I have to accept. I'm aware of that, but I'm also aware of the fact that I think I'll have more fun this way. I don't need to be the best of the best. I've never felt that desire, but I have felt the desire to progress and to be good at what I do. Now, if that means being the best 10-man guild on the server, I would be more than happy with that. But even then, that's not what I'm aiming for. I want to do the challenges for the sake of the challenges and to get the appropriate rewards from those challenges. That is how WoW is supposed to work. That's how endgame raiding is supposed to work. That's how it used to work. When Blizzard lost sight of it somewhere down the line, I think it's the duty of the players when Blizzard will not listen to uphold that ideal and show them that yes, there are some of us who want to do it the proper way. So why don't you cater to us, Blizz? Because we pay just as much as anybody else. You know what? We're capable of articulating our concerns in a constructive manner and not whining and complaining. So if that sounds good to you, then by all means, come along. Come and talk to us. Come and get involved. And incidentally, I'm getting yelled at by Jen. Our classic guild worked just fine. Yes, it did, for a while. And that's mostly in part to Jen's administration and leadership, and well done to her for that. Probably the most successful WoW Radio Guild effort we've ever had. So if you want to come along, have a read of the forum topic, forums.wcradio.com, click the 10-man guild recruitment thread. You'll see what I'm looking for. Post in there. I want to be chatting to each of you on Vent, so I would hope that you have a working mic so I can talk to you and try and get an idea. I'm looking for very specific people. You know, and I'm very sorry if I seem very picky, because, like, hey, you have an annoying voice? Yeah, probably not going to bring you in. Why? Because you're going to annoy other people. You're going to make the environment uncomfortable. Not your fault. We want to be selective. Yeah? Have a look. See if it interests you. And it makes me wonder whether or not 10-mans are really the way forward, and how I could have changed so much from loving 40-man raid content through to wanting to do 10-man raid content. I'm not really sure, honestly. I can't identify any elements specifically that would have caused that. Because in theory, I still enjoy 25-man raid content, but the stuff that's been in Wrath has irked me for one reason or another. Nax because it was boring and too easy, repetitive content, and Ulduar because it was too long, and I was raiding with people who made mistakes, who made my experience less pleasant. It makes sense. But I don't know whether or not if all of those were resolved, that I would enjoy 25-man as much as I used to, or as much as I used to enjoy 40-man raiding. And I don't know a specific reason for that. I can't identify one. Maybe there is one, maybe there isn't. Couldn't tell you. What I do know is that it is vitally important for folks playing the game, particularly veteran players who are somewhat more jaded, to seek fun where they can if they wish to continue in the game. And to make use of the facilities that are offered to us. It's not a good idea to complain about things when you are not using the tools available to you. There are some concerns that are valid. Say, we have concerns about the difficulty level of the content. And, of course, Blizzard will turn around and say, well, we provided you tools in the form of hard modes. And, of course, you can then turn around and say, well, the problem is that the gap between hard modes and normals is too large for a lot of guilds to actually traverse. And they end up getting stuck with either content that's too easy or content that's too hard. Particularly with the new TOC stuff, where there is absolutely no non-binary hard modes, at least to my knowledge at any rate. It's either on or it's off. So, that's a complaint that you can make that's valid. But you can't complain in general and say, oh, well, you know, I'm not enjoying raiding, blah, blah, blah. You've got to try the other parts of it before you can really say, well, okay, raiding is now not for me, and the reason is this, this, and this. A, B, and C, here's the evidence. It's Blizzard's fault, not mine. Sometimes it's your fault. Sometimes you just get sick of raiding, and what's so wrong with that? It's just human nature. You go in and out of phases. I don't know of many players who can play a game for 5 years straight and not be bothered to some degree by various elements in there. I don't think such a player exists. And if it does exist, I think that it's just hidden inside them. It's sort of buried in their subconscious, saying, well, there's a lot of elements of this game that I don't like, but I really don't want to leave for whatever reason. Maybe it be friends, acquaintances, maybe it be the amount of time invested. You feel invested in your character, so you don't want to bail on him, as it were. That's possible. I don't want to bail on my character. And it's not really because of time invested, it's just, I think of a lot of fun times that we've had. And I say we, I'm actually referring to my character as another person. That's really freaky and spurgy of me. I think of the fun that I've had with that particular character and all of the experiences that have gone along with it. A lot of bad times as well. A lot of grinding, a lot of repetition, a lot of bad game mechanics. All of the things that people blame WoW for, and all of the faults that people pick with WoW, they're basically all correct. But there's a lot of fun to be had in raiding. It's a very social experience. Overcoming a challenge with a lot of people is, to me, at any rate, the defining feature of an MMORPG, or any kind of MMO. Maybe whether it be FPS, RTS, RPG, sports, whatever. Overcoming a challenge with a large number of people. That's what raiding is. That's what MMORPGs are, condensed down to their very essence at the end game. And if I have to enjoy that with 10 people as opposed to 25, okay, I'll give it a whirl. Why not? You are listening to Blue Please here on WoW Radio with myself, Total Biscuit. I haven't asked the Murloc for you. Oh, yes. Yes, indeed. I'd love to know where I actually put it. It's probably around here somewhere. He's run away. Unless the Murloc is hiding. There we go. We'll play this, and we'll do the illusion of choice, and then we shall end, folks. If you have a suggestion for the illusion of choice, email the Murloc at gmail.com. That is themurloc at gmail.com. Now, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for this.
Ask the Murloc. Ask the Murloc.
Apples and oranges and colourful mittens, sweeties and dancing and the eating of kittens. Oh, it's you. How dare you disturb my prose? This is the finest poetry the world has ever known. Or at least it will be once you blasted lepers have shuffled out of my abode. You should be thankful I even let you in here to begin with. It takes hours to get the putrid stench out of the carpet. Positively vile creatures you are, the lot of you, so get on with it, before I start using you all to test the pantry trebuchet. Yes, I have a trebuchet in the pantry. Yes, I have considered the practicalities of it, and I can guarantee that it will confound your puny excuse for grey matter. Do not question the Murloc's supreme sovereign stratagem again. What is this nonsense? Yes, here we go. Dear Murloc, for the past 6 years, I've been farming MC in an attempt to get the last binding I need for Thunder Fury. However, I am concerned, as I am sure other Thunder Fury owners are, that when Cataclysm comes out and replaces some of the old instances, that we will lose our Thunder Furies. Can you please tell me whether or not this will happen? Why, yes, I'm glad that you too have been observant enough to notice the vast left-wing plot instigated by Blizzard themselves to steal all our legendary items when you least expect it. You're quite observant for one of your inferior species. Perhaps I shall pluck out your eyes and eat them, and then I will possess your power. Chiefs, have him prepared for the ritual de-ionizing. No, not quite yet, you incompetent buffoon! He will get his answer first. Yes, Blizzard has every intention of taking away your Thunder Fury, in a similar fashion to their heinous scheme to steal all the Atiashas, Tier 3 set pieces, Tier 2 helms, and the Black Karaji battle tanks. However, the Murloc is one step ahead of them, and he had the foresight to steal them all first. I keep them in a huge underground vault, which is also a place that I can guarantee the safety of your legendary items, should the Blizzard Repo Man come a-knocking. Did you know you can also purchase a comprehensive cover plan for your item? Why, yes, it is mandatory, regardless of whether or not you place the item in the vault. Take him away! Next! What is this nonsense? Dear Murloc, I am considering purchasing gold. Is this legal, and do you have any tips as to the best place to get it? Of course! Blizzard absolutely adores those who purchase gold. After all, a rich player is a happy player. There are several things you should bear in mind when purchasing gold. First, buy it from a reputable vendor. I personally recommend Sexleg Industries and not a keyloggerhonest.com. Both of these sites provide competitive rates and comprehensive expert customer service. Obviously, you're going to want your gold as quickly as possible, and the best way to do that is to have it transferred directly into your chosen character. Hand over your username and password, plus secret question, social security number, and mother's maiden name to the advisor, who will then be able to instantly inject the gold into your account. Security concerns are not a factor. Everyone knows the only way your account can get compromised is by visiting an official fan site or having an elite team of suburban hackers brute force their way into the Blizzard servers to locate your specific account. And what are the chances of that happening, Now get out of the Murloc's mansion, lest I unleash the wrath of 235,000 Thunder Furies upon your pitiful, wretched bodies.
Ask the Murloc.